Okay, welcome folks. Quick tutorial here today. Just going into creating some basic geometry to put into Unity and also applying collision to the mesh. So just going to go through forward here just to show you something I prepared earlier. So we have here some red steps, yeah. And if I just go forward and just hop up onto there we go. You can see there's some geometry I've created, steps I've created. Now very, very basic. Of course, you can do a multitude of things with these steps. For example, it's something where you can make them like old steps. You could put a stone texture on there, put it into Mudbox perhaps. You could deform it so it kind of looks old and like medieval, whatever it is. But as long as you follow these principles, you'll be absolutely fine. So without further ado, let's skip to it. So it's going to show you here. If I go through to Maya, let's bring it up. And you can see there, I've got the steps there. Now I've created this using the Polygon Tool, which will do, but this is essentially it. So I'm going to move this to one side. I'm going to go to, I think it's already in object mode. Oops, already in object mode. Just going to move this to one side. Okay, so how I'm going to create the steps is I'm going to do the following. I'll need to go into top view. You can see there. You can zoom out. You can see my little object there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this polygonal tool, which you'll find here. Yeah, create polygon. I'm going to use the grid as a guide. So I'm going to select that. And I'm just going to click on these points. And what you'll find it does is it sort of starts to kind of create a base. And you'll see it kind of overlaps. I'm just going to keep going. Probably goes around about sort of there. Don't worry about making it too neat. We can straighten it up when we come back to it. So there we go. And if you're kind of happy to go with that, you can go with that. You can just hit enter. Now, at the moment, it's showing a black side to there. We can go to lighting and make two-sided lighting there, just so we've got it there. So you'll see now it's just it's a 2D plane. Yeah. Okay, it's going to go back to the top view. And you want to take just a little moment just to go into vertex mode. And you want to tidy it up. So, just going to press W and just, move it. If it helps, you can go into X-ray mode. Just so you can see exactly where you're going. Same thing there. Yeah, it depends on what what you're going for. Click on that, get that in place. So just taking a little moment just to tidy this up. Okay, looking good, ready for the next stage. So we are going now to extrude. I'm going to go back into object mode. Now I had a bit of a problem earlier this week. I was doing this exact demonstration with students, and as soon as I put it into Unity, it was kind of flipping the normals. So I made these steps and it was inside out. And one of the reasons is if I just go into face mode, when you press Control and E, If you go to extrude up, say, oh, sorry. If you go to extrude up like so, it flips it out. And so the stairs will appear to be hollow. So we need to take it back down the other way. So not that way, that way. Now, some of you out there might actually know of a better way of doing this. I struggled with this for a good few hours. So I'm taking it down below the grid line. Okay? And that's pretty much it. Yeah, I've created my geometry. It's going to go into, if it'll let me, it's going to go into object mode. Let's try it one more time. There we go. And I can bring this up onto the ground level. Now you'll see there that my pivot edge is out of whack. You can take care of this a number of ways. I can do this sort of quick and dirty, which is hold down D, and whilst I'm holding down D, I can just sort of position it pretty much in the middle of my model. As soon as you take your finger off D, you'll find that it's set. Yeah. There is another option. If you go into the toolkit there and scroll down, you'll see there it says Edit Pivot. You can use that too. Anyway, so I'm now going to go to Rotate. I'm just going to open up the channel box here because there's a quick way of doing it. So you could kind of go, okay, I'm going to rotate it like so. And you'll see there in Rotate Z, yeah, the numbers going up and down, right? A very quick way, if you want to be precise, I'm going to go -90. Yeah, just a lot simpler, saves a lot, a lot of messing around. And just going to put that down on the floor like so. Okay, that looks good to me. And of course, as I mentioned before, you can add as much detail to this, put it into a mud box, or even keep in Maya and add some more subdivisions and play around that way. Deform some of it, depending on what you're doing. If you want to do something kind of sci-fi, then maybe everything's going to be sort of straight edge and whatnot. But perhaps if it's fantasy, you want to give it a bit more character. Okay, so moving on. Next thing I'm going to do in object mode, I'm going to go to assign the material. Now this is just for the purpose of just showing. So I'll give it a font. Say this is just for the purposes of this exercise, and this time I'll make them say blue. Okay. Okay, all looks good. Finally, I'm just going to, just for the sake of expediency, I'm going to automatically unwrap these UVs. I'll go into the editor. Now, of course, it's a good place to start, but depending if you're doing some designs where, particularly if you're working in Photoshop, you might want to connect some of these faces up, depending on what you're doing, yeah. But for the purposes of the video, I'm just going to leave that as is. And go back to object mode. Okay, I seem to have lost my color. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to assign new material. And we're going to make that blue. Okay, there we go. Yep, all good. Ready to export. So I'm going to now go to export selection. Just make sure that when you go into this, when you go into exporting your selection, give it a name. I'm going to call this stairs 2. It's always good to group it into a folder. So, for example, I could create a folder, yeah, like so. Call this stairs 2. Open that. Put my stairs 2 in there. Export selection, yeah. So now it's an FBX exported along with the material. Now I'm going to go into Unity, go back into the scene, and I'm going to go to Assets, Import New Asset, find my stairs 2, which is there. Click on the file, import, and I'll find it there. And then basically I'm just going to drag the entire folder in there like that. And then lastly, I'm just going to scale it up. Yeah. Like so. Not too big though. Okay, that's looking good. One last thing to do. If I bring the character in here now, he's just going to walk all the way through this, and I don't want that to happen. Okay, so I want to make a collision. So you go down to the right here, and to go to Add Component and Physics, and I want to put Mesh Collider. Now, you've got all different types of colliders you can put on here, but I want to make the actual geometry have a collision. So I'll select that. It's already, it's put the poly surface in there, so that's fine as mesh. Moment of truth, drum roll. Right, go forward again, let's have a look. Okay, there we go. That's it. I hope you found this video useful, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below. Let me know if you found this useful or not. That's it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video, and until next time, thanks for watching. See you soon.